King.
Alright, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Sanusi Vision Art Life. My name is Adewale Boke Jr. Please review us. Rate us. Give us a 5-star. Don't be a hater. Today, I'm going to straight up talk about how things in society is affecting us as artists, because I'm noticing it more and more. This is like shit's happening all over the place, literally. Excuse my language, but that's literally what's happening. So, the things that I'm focusing on that I feel like is messing up everything. Laws, the politics, the chaos. And then, of course, there's results from chaos, which is totally insane because things are already hard enough for you to earn a living. But how are you going to earn a living when you have those around you who's supposed to be passing things that benefit your life and making it even worse? So, but before we get into this podcast, I want to thank our sponsors. This Sanusi Vision podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. As I stated before, A4 Capital Consulting is coming out with their new podcast. They are working on it. I just talked to the president and CEO of A4 Capital Consulting, Adetay Agboke, and he tells me that, yes, the episodes are coming. They're going to be informative, educate you, take your business to the next level, and that's what it's about, man. So, you know what I'm saying? And this podcast is also brought to you by Anadel Foot and Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel Foot and Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. As I stated before in the past, custom orthotics, man. I don't go without wearing my Anadel custom orthotics. Ever since I started wearing these, no more foot pain. Most of the time people think they need surgery, but sometimes depending on who you meet, man, if you got the right doctor, if you have a great doctor like Dr. Nero Nasoda at Anadel Center, who he's also the owner, CEO, president of the organization of the doctors of that place, you're getting the best of the best telling you that this is a situation with your feet. Let's diagnose you, check you out, put you on the machine, let you know whether you're pronating or whatever you might be doing, man. Then they get you on custom orthotics, man, because a lot of us walk around with feet that are hurting like hell, but we don't know why. So AnadelCenter.com will find you the solution, man, and make your feet happy again. So go get your custom orthotics at AnadelCenter.com, man. Make an appointment and go see Dr. Nero Nasoda today. All right, y'all. So let's get into this podcast, man. As I stated before, there's things that I want to talk about. I feel like there's shit happening all over the place to people. Literally, shit just happening to people all over the place. And it's based on the laws, the politics that's going on, the chaos that's coming from the politics and the laws, and then the results of all three, laws, politics, and chaos. I mean, it's just insane. As an artist, it's already hard enough being an artist. As they say, a bunch of starving artists out there. And some of us are businessmen and businesswomen. But when you have laws, politics, and chaos, and then which is the results is that things just get harder for you, you got problems. So let's start with the laws. I mean, I've never counted on the government or entities to pull me forward. I'm just not doing that. My ability to just not depend on people is just always what's probably gotten me far. The laws that are passed are not meant for those who are trying to pull themselves up. They're meant for those who are already up. And we're talking about the 1% of the 1%. We're talking about the gajillionaires or whatever you want to call them. Guys in Washington, D.C. don't give a damn about you and I. They don't care about the average person, the person that's trying to pay their bills or whatever it is, you pay with mortgage, car note, send their kids to college. This is a joke now, college. I mean, college, think about college, just thinking about going to it is a joke because the stress, the debts that they're going to put you in. And these are all based on the stupid laws that they pass. I mean, you're not doing nothing that's benefiting people. Why are you in office? No matter how you look every single day, there's something crazy going on. If it ain't the chaos of the politicians between themselves, it's the gun laws they're passing. Now people have to be scared about worrying about getting shot, going to work, going to school, going for a run. I remember I went for a run today, and it was probably the first time I actually had that go through my head like, man, there's actually some idiot who be in a car going around just shooting people. I mean, it's crazy. You cannot function anymore normally. And to me, the American society in general is just becoming chaos. I mean, America used to be the place everybody wants to live in. It ain't the place everybody wants to live in anymore. I mean, I actually think about it sometimes like, where do I want to move to? I want to get out of America because it's getting old. The violence is too much, and it's happening because of the laws that they have. You can't just have around everybody just walk around with whatever they want to walk with. This isn't a war zone. We're not in the military. If you're not in the military, why are you carrying military-grade weapons? Makes no sense. And then it's like they want to numb us to the lives that are lost. But we're not going to do that. I mean, it's ridiculous to watching people, every time you hear the news, 5, 6, 7 people dying. I don't care if it's just one. That's one too many people that are dying. Our politicians, which is going to be the next time I'm talking about, don't give a damn. So the laws they pass don't benefit us. They benefit all these gun companies. I don't know what their names are, but I think when people start suing the companies, then we might have less problems. Now that I'm thinking about it, these lobbyists and these gun lobbyists, they're the ones paying all these politicians. Whatever money they're giving to the politicians every year or every month or every week or whatever they're paying them, it's enough for them to just keep destroying the average person's lives. And it's crazy that you have to. And this is why I said it doesn't matter what law they pass. I have a tendency not to depend on government pulling me forward. I have a tendency not to depend on anybody else pulling me forward, because you have to work for your own merit, man. We just live in a super capitalistic society where the small get forgotten, and if you ain't pulling yourself pulling yourself up, you ain't pulling yourself up at all. It's like when I'm at the traffic light and I'm at the traffic light. Maybe whether you want to make a left or make a right or go straight, maybe there's a homeless person there. I just always feel this guilt sensation to just give something. If it's not money, it's food. I figure at least giving something is better than nothing. And some people are like, well, don't give them money, they'll just go use it for drugs. Well, I'm not so much worried about that. I'm more worried about, did I do something to make that person's day better? That's really what I'm worried about. And these are the things that I'm talking about in terms of laws. The politicians don't give a damn. So wherever the companies are, whatever they're called, don't even know their names, Remington or whoever it is that's making all these crazy guns, if people start suing them, problem gets solved, because politicians are not going to change the laws because they're in their pockets. If we as citizens want something to change, we're going to have to just be like, you know what, let's start suing the companies. You sue enough of the companies, you take enough of their money, you have to change their behavior, because we keep voting politicians out, but then another bad one comes in. So, that's about which is leading to the next thing, politics. All this right here is straight politics. Whenever they do bad politics, it affects our livelihood. Now you can't get loans, you can't get grants, you can't make things that are, I don't see equal ever in America or anywhere in the world. But what I can see is maybe opportunity. People have an opportunity. And to me, that's one thing that should be afforded to everybody. Opportunity. Where are people getting opportunities to make something better of themselves, right? You know what I'm saying? If I had never even just had a basic job, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to create my characters, Carjacker Assassins. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, opportunity. If your politicians are doing a crappy job, a straight garbage job, which is what they're doing. If there was a scale, I'd probably give them a 0, because they make me sick. Whether it's Democrats, Republicans, they're all full of crap. They're all serving their own ends. I always say this, man, politicians are serving themselves, not us. We actually act like they serve us. They don't serve us. They serve themselves. And then the lobbyists that they're working for. When these guys go on campaign, they're shaking hands with a bunch of millionaires and billionaires, and then when they walk to you at the regular citizenry, you just get to be in a photo op, and then they just want to talk to you when they want your vote, and then once they're done getting your vote, it's back to doing the usual bullshit they do, which is passing bad laws, bad politics, not listening to each other. Whether it's Democrats or Republicans, right or left, find the goddamn middle. The middle is you making the American community, American public better. Americans are not doing very well right now. It's crazy. I got to thinking about it. First, we went through COVID. So 2020 to literally 2023 is how I feel about it. It just ended this year. Now we're in 2023, we're in a recession. And here you have politicians talking about there was a lot of jobs. The economy's strong. No, it's not. How's the economy strong when you got jobs, people getting jobs, they're getting paid significantly less? To me, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's why this episode is called Shit Happens. You're hiring people, but you're paying them less. Jobs that should pay them $18, you're giving them 13. Jobs that should pay them 20, 35, I don't know, 75,000 a year, you want to give them 50. Like, I still look for jobs, but I will not take a job that doesn't pay me my value. I'd rather have no job than let you pay me less than what I'm worth. And that's what's happening to a lot of people right now. A lot of people aren't unemployed because they're not looking for work. They're unemployed because they don't want to take a shitty job. Why should they take a shitty job? You don't get to pay a shitty money and they say, oh, the unemployment rate went down. I'm not a big fan of the administration right now. I think they're a freaking joke. And the one before that, the Trump administration was a joke, and so is the Biden administration. And this is what I mean. I've just had enough of Democrats and Republicans. They're both full of shit. Give me a different perspective, independent. Somebody who's not toxified, which is hard, by both sides. And because neither one is listening to either one. And so their politics is all about serving themselves. That's really the politics of those self-serving a-holes that are just pleasing themselves. And us citizenry, the American citizens, are just getting shitted on every single day. Taxes, gas prices, milk prices, Gatorade prices, being in business for yourself has gotten harder and harder. Can you imagine somebody who has a business, maybe they employ 100 plus people. The stress every single day of knowing that you have to make sure that your business makes a profit so that these people you hire stay employed is so hard. And then not to mention too, you want to stay in business. Who wants to start a business that's been running for 25 years and then it goes down the tanker? Nobody wants that bullshit. But when you have politicians passing bullshit laws benefiting only the minute, the wealthiest, they can get loans left and right, default on them left and right. But if the average person defaults on one loan, whether it's home or car loans or whatever, you're screwed. Like now, the biggest thing that's going right now is car loans. There's so many people getting their cars repoed. It's not even funny, man. And I'm sure when they bought that car, their idea was not like when they bought the car that, oh yeah, I'm going to lose my job or something bad's going to happen to me, and then I can't afford this $250 a month or $430 or whatever the hell it is that people are paying for car notes. It's just people. It's hard for people out there, man. And artists fall into all these different categories because some of us, we work for ourselves. We work at Home Depot. We've driven an Uber like myself. We drive Lyft like myself. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? We've worked at Amazon like me. You know what I'm saying? We've just worked these odd jobs, man. And your dream seems to be getting harder and harder. The American dream itself really is becoming a joke. Because politicians with their bullshit laws and their chaos, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, that they're causing, is causing a lot of us to just not live to the best of our abilities. I mean, you got individuals with talents. Instead of focusing on that talent that they have to go focus on something else now. They have to live just to get by, not to live to aspire, not to live to make something great of their life, but have to just live to get by. I mean, that's not being the best version of yourself as a human being, or just being the best version of yourself. I mean, that's not the way I saw America anyway. My parents, my mom, when she came over here, when she was there, school was cheaper, cost of living was cheaper. I remember she telling me stories about how gas used to be 83 cents, and I started laughing. I was like, 83 cents? Oh my God. You're never going to see that again. Everything is so expensive. Nobody can have anything. It's a very intoxicating situation where you're not safe. You can't make enough. Everybody's always feeling like somebody owes them something. And most importantly, nobody has any patience to be successful anymore. Everybody wants the quick fix. And I'm sorry it doesn't work that way. And that's really what's happening, because you have your useless leaders, these politicians, Democrats and Republicans, left and right, just ruining people's lives, telling everybody, well, this was owed to you. Nobody owes you anything. You earn your keep every single day. But what you do need to do as politicians, as constituents that work for us, the citizens, pass laws that benefit people, not laws that benefit the 1%. To me, that doesn't do anything, because less and less and more, the middle class is getting compressed. I mean, it's like I heard this. The middle class allows the rich to stay where they are, and then the middle class also too allows you to take somebody who's poor and pull them up. So it's holding both barriers. If you take out the middle class, you ain't got nothing. I mean, it's crazy, but somebody actually said the middle class now, you can constitute them anywhere. Anybody making anywhere from $30,000 to $230,000. And what's really funny is that somebody who's making $230,000, depending on where they live, that's a joke. Like if you live in San Francisco, $230,000 is a joke. You might as well just move to another state, because that $230,000 rent is $9,000 a month. You can barely have anything. You're paying $9,000 a month. That is insane. That's $120,000 plus a year in rent. Not to forget the light bill, the cell phone bill, and any other expenditures they might have. The cost of living is insane. And now people are forced to do 2-3 jobs at a time, which people are already doing. Now, where are you going to find the time to be a family man, family woman, or whatever your situation might be? It's just crazy, man. But that's what happens when these dumb-ass politicians pass bullshit laws and they ain't even passing laws. They're just doing a shitty job, not even doing their job. They're not passing laws to benefit the citizenry. They're just passing laws that benefit themselves and benefit lobbyists. You know what I'm saying? You get us, the citizenry, to go vote in the booths, but then these asshole lobbyists are the ones cutting your checks. So you figure the one that's cutting my checks is more important than the ones voting for me. Bunch of a-holes, man. Next up, the chaos. You got chaos. What else you gonna call it when it's chaos, when every other week somebody's getting shut up? Whether it's a school, whether it's a church. I mean, the sad part is kids that are dying. And I'm not gonna bother going into the different states or different scenarios. Y'all know all of them already. It's just really disheartening that politicians. I remember the last one was Philadelphia, where you actually literally had police officers on TV shedding tears and wanting these useless politicians to pass laws that are going to prevent these mass shootings. We've had 220 plus mass shootings this year alone, and we're in July. You know what I'm saying? At what point are politicians going to do their damn job and say, we're going to get off our ass and do something about this? And that's what I mean by America, like the chaos here. America is not what it used to be. It's not the place that people want to come live anymore. It's actually considered one of the worst places to live in the world now. And I said before in the beginning of the podcast, I'm actually thinking about where else I would want to move to. other than America. I've actually had that in my head for a while now. Before all this craziness started, I think I kind of just saw the way America was going with this lack of self-control, lack of laws that actually benefit people, lack of opportunity. The people that come here have money. People from Europe, people from wherever they're coming from the Middle East, some from Africa that have money come here. Yeah, they can make themselves lively, but we're talking about the actual Americans, because what's made America great is the fact that immigrants come here and then pull it up, or the working class that pull it up. But now that we've got an issue where you've got these politicians, just chaos everywhere. You get up in the morning, you send your kids to school. I mean, I'm not a parent, but I can't even imagine what it's like for parents who send their kids to school, having to worry about that nonsense, having to worry about that bullshit. Is my child going to make it home? Teachers have to taking self-defense classes and all these kinds of crazy defense classes just to be ready for anything that might go down at the school. You've got to have security packing. I mean, just having all kinds of different artillery waiting for some idiot. And then the sad part is that these stupid gun laws that they have, that these politicians don't want to change, they're allowing any idiot who wants one to go get one, just as long as they make a sale. So the bottom line is all that matters, not the lives. I thought the lives were the bottom line. Like I said before, something drastic is going to have to happen. Whether it's the citizenry plus the police union. I mean, it was probably the first time I've ever seen police actually being like, this is horrible. Because they're the ones who get to be in the front line all the time, seeing this bullshit repeatedly. It gets old after a while, man, when you have to repeat the same scene over and over and over. I mean, it's like it's really bad. America in terms of the chaos. That's what I mean by it. That's why this episode is called Shit Happens. It's just constant. And then, of course, mental health. And I think about mental health, right? I stated on previous episodes, I'm in therapy, and I love it. I think there's a new calmness that I feel in myself, where you have like, you used to feel like a tidal wave was going all the time. Now it feels like, I actually felt like I was strapped to a car and it was going 120 miles per hour. Now I feel like my car is going 3 miles per hour. You see things better. It's taking my art to a different platform, a different field. My creativity's gotten better. I'm in this creative trance. I've been in it for a while since the therapy started, and it's been very liberating to no longer have anxiety like that, to not have to have a peace of mind. And this is what I mean by when I was talking about the 2020, the pandemic. The pandemic did a lot of damage. Now that I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing people every day, whether I go to the grocery store, maybe I'm just going for a run, I'm just like, man, this thing has done a lot of damage. The anxiety that people have. Personally, I think the government should be made to give people. Look at my. The government should be made to fund some therapy sessions for all Americans, especially those who need it. Because the pandemic caused a lot of anxiety. Because people are social creatures. Being around each other, hanging around each other, going to the park, whatever it might be they be doing. But when people were just trapped in their house, man, I mean, it's no accident we're having all this chaos that's going on right there. Whether it's people committing suicide, all these stupid, crazy gun incidents that keep happening, which is really pissing me off, because a lot of this is preventable. You know what I'm saying? And for me, people need to get help, and the government ain't helping nobody. It's like they're more interested in just trapping you and keeping you in place versus actually helping you. And that's why I said in the beginning, I don't depend on the government to do anything for me. If you want to get some help, you got to go get some help yourself. And it's unfortunate, man, but we don't have a government that's serving the people. I don't care whether it's the Republicans or Democrats. They serve themselves. It's crazy how they fight each other on TV, but I bet you once they get off the TV, they go eat dinner together at whatever goddamn restaurant they go eat dinner at. I mean, just politicians in general just make me sick. Their whole aura is disgusting. And then we go from the chaos, which is what's happening right now. The way America is, it's a hot mess. I mean, it's funny how America used to be seen as the pinnacle of the world. Hey, this is what everybody should be like. Nobody's saying that no more. I mean, I took a trip, I think it was to England 5 years ago. And I remember having conversations about it. They said, Americans are a-hole. And I couldn't even disagree. I said, yeah, you're not lying. And a lot of Americans are assholes. It's because the way we behave, we stuck on ourselves. We're the only group of individuals to think that when we go to another country, they should still be speaking English. No, you speak the damn language that the country is speaking, wherever it is the hell that you go. So I'm making a conscious effort for me, myself anyway. Like, I'm always on Duolingo. I'm learning Japanese, Spanish, French, Korean, Zulu. I'm learning as many languages as I can, because I feel like language is the ultimate bring together. You know what I mean? So the ultimate understander of each other. Don't travel to another and talking about do they speak English. No, screw English. When you get to that country, you ask them what language they speaking and learn that language. It's called culture, man. Culturize yourself. It's ridiculous. And now all this chaos has led to the results, right? So people are like, if it's not suicides, it's all these crazy gun incidents that are happening. People are losing their jobs. People don't make enough money. You know what I'm saying? You can't do the things you need to do. You can't send your kids to college. Like I said before, again, I feel bad for parents. If it's your kid is not going to school, middle school, elementary, yada, yada, why would you want to go to college when you know you're going to come out owing $400,000 a year? And then when you owe $400,000 a year, you want to go get a house, you want to go get a business loan. They'll say, well, we can't give you a business loan because you owe $400,000 a year. But if some rich asshole wants $400,000 a year and he already blew through $1 billion, they'll give him another $1 billion. I mean, it makes no damn sense. Opportunities are not equal. And I've come to the realization a lot of things are racist and a lot of things are just privilege, man, and ignorance. Sheer straight up ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You don't focus on people that need something. You focus on people that already have enough. So you give money, a business loan to a person that has no money. I mean, that has a bunch of money, but blows through the money. But the person that needs the money to start a dream, you won't give them any money. Like me, I can't tell you how many bank loans. In 2022, I must have applied to at least 10 bank loans, and I got 0. And then grants, I must have applied to at least 15. I got 0 too. I didn't spend my whole time, every time they told me no, wait, and they're like, oh, the world's coming to an end. Nah, screw that. I just make my own way. The results are like, sometimes you have to just take them in your hand and go make your own avenue. I mean, a lot of people, what they're dealing with now is, if it's not economic struggles, it's emotional struggles, it's mental struggles. People are actually out there struggling. People actually need help. Sit down, sit in front of somebody, a specialist, a mental specialist, emotional specialist. I mean, some people it's mental, some people it's emotional, some people it's just physical, some people it's just all three of them. I mean, it's just people, and then you've got marriages are falling apart like that in 2 seconds. I've always felt like American marriages are always too materialistic. I think I've seen a lot of countries, and the way American marriages are, they're a joke. I'm like, nah, I don't want no parts of this. If I'm gonna be married, I can't be dealing with none of this bullshit that they deal with in America. It's just straight bullshit. It's not marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared sometimes. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm better off not ending up with an American woman, which is wild. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, like, people are getting married less and less. The divorce rates are going up. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to date anybody now because you don't want to date a woman that's not bringing anything to the table. You have to have something you're bringing to the table. Stuff costs too much. And then you as a dude, you need to bring something to the table too. So you and the lady, y'all need to have a combination of both of y'all, you know. Somebody was telling me a story that they went on a date and they literally said, whatever the total bill is, we're going to go half on it. I said, that's what I'm talking about, because a lot of women that I've spoken to actually understand, like, things are too expensive now. All this he's going to pay out of pocket only, that ain't going to work no more. You know what I mean? And that's a result of everything that I've just talked about today. The laws, the politics, the chaos of it. Yo, it's like, it's too expensive for one person to handle it by themselves, man. You need teamwork. So whatever woman I end up with, she's got to be down for the teamwork. She's going to have her share. I'm going to have my share. If she can't work with that, I got to give you the deuce. You know what I mean? It's just a lot for a lot of people people are dealing with so much. It is bad. You know what I'm saying? And then I talked about it today because it affects artists. And I'm going to keep doing episodes like this because I do them frequently. But this was just a one-off where I felt like there's just too much going on for me not to talk about it. And I'm not afraid to talk about politics and stuff like that because I feel how I feel about it. I just don't count on politicians to make my life better. They're not going to make my life better. They're going to make it, if anything, make it worse. You know what I mean? Like I told y'all, I applied for 10 loans last year. I got 0. I applied for 15 grants last year. I got 0. And guess what I'm still doing this year? Still applying for grants. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let anybody stop what I'm trying to do. And at the same time, too, I'm going to get help like I wanted to. Like I told y'all, I would. I'm loving the therapy. I got to tell y'all, man, therapy is, if I can recommend it to anybody, please go get it if you need it. It is good to be in a mental good space because the chaos, you're trying to do what you're trying to do, but you're also dealing with the chaos, right? The chaos of not having enough, the chaos of not feeling like you're going to do more for yourself, the chaos of just all around you. And then also, too, then there's the results. Because you can't count on politicians and you can't count on the laws that these idiots are going to pass. The only person you can count on is yourself. You know what I mean? Every day you got 24 hours to do something to be better than what you were the day before. Like I always say, man, everybody's 24 hours. Everybody's 24 hours is different. Nobody's 24 hours is the same. Some are rich, some are poor. Some have, some don't have. Some barely get by, some are just getting by. Some are sneaking by. Some are just trying to make their way through, man. It's a chaotic state, man. But that's the America we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. And I just felt the need to talk about it. So, but before we get up out of here, right? I want to talk about some of the new products we got. You know what I'm saying? Because as an artist out here, you're starving. And you got to stay hustling because you ain't eating if you ain't hustling. And that's what I figured I use my platform for. You know what I'm saying? We got new phone cases. You got to go get your new phone cases right here. Different characters, different colors. Got Cards Out for Assassins right here, but you can get Iron Man, Batman, Blade, Wonder Woman, anything you see on my banner right here. Turtles, Mega Man, my own characters from the Cards Out for Assassins universe. Cajun, Shepard, Sanusi, Sincere, Escalade, Rasputin, Glocks, Diesel, you know what I'm saying? Artillery, you name it, you know what I mean? And then also, too, the various characters that I have. You can see Turtles behind me, Goku, Vegeta. You got Storm, Ronin Warriors, you know what I'm saying? And then we got a different type of phone case, too. This one is a flip phone case. And look, it allows you to put your phone right here, right? You got spots for your credit card right here. You know what I'm saying? You got maybe important notes you want to put in here. You know what I mean? It's pretty sick, man. You know what I mean? Phone cases. And look at the art, the detail of the work. I love this thing, I got to tell y'all. And it protects the phone. You know what I mean? So it's got protection from being sitting in here in the case. Then it's got a full case. And guess what else it's got? You can pull it over so it's protected. Excuse me, y'all. I was coughing. Under the weather a little bit, but you know what I mean? And then also, too, don't want to forget this. If you're unlike me, you love your laptop case. I've had this for a while. And not to mention, it is waterproof, y'all. Waterproof. That's right. Waterproof. You know what I mean? It's got double art on both sides. So art on this side. Look at that art right there. And you flip it. Look at that art right there. So Cards of Assassins Classic in the front. And then Cards of Assassins version 5. And of course, you know the version 6 is coming because the first official Cards of Assassins comic book is coming out. But you know, these are the new products that we got on the website, man. So visit soundvision.com and get you a phone case, a laptop case. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're pretty sick, man. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing over at Sound Vision. So keep it going. And also, too, don't forget to go get your copy of the Bible book, the Cards of Assassins Bible book, because this is the first, this is going to lead people to understand the first official Cards of Assassins comic book that's coming out, which is sick. I'm working on it. It's just a correction phase now. It's just incredible. And once that gets done, you have to do all that documentation stuff, copywriting, you know, all that stuff that you got to do. So it's all a bunch of intricacies that matter. Because as artists, a lot of us don't understand that. But I made it my mission to understand things like that. Trademarks, copyrights, LLC. Every inch of what I need to do, I understand it. I'm not going to let any company. I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to work for Marvel. I don't want to work for DC. And I don't want to work for whoever. I want to have my own company. And I work with, but not for. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to work with other companies, but not for. They're not going to take my creation and then put it in their pocket and talk about, well, we own it. No, you don't own a damn. You don't own shit. You ain't owning a goddamn thing. I'm going to work with y'all. When y'all get on my damn nerves, I'm going to give y'all this and give y'all the middle finger. You know what I mean? I'm not working for anybody. I mean, that's what's led to me being my independent artist. And I've come so far because of it. So, you know, go get you this copy of this Bible book right here. You can see the carjacks right there, the heroes. Then, of course, the assassins right there. You know what I mean? So, go get your copy today, man, on soundvision.com. So, when it tells you about the characters, the height, weight, and everything, where they're from. So, when the first official Cards of Assassins book comes out, you're like, oh, damn. Yeah, you make sure you totally understand what's going on. So, y'all, that's our show for today, man. I want to thank y'all for listening. But before we get up out of here, I want to thank these sponsors. This Sound Vision podcast is brought to you by A4 Capital Consulting. Growing good business anywhere and everywhere. Let A4 Capital Consulting take your business to the next level. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. That's A4CapitalConsulting.com for details, y'all. And this podcast also brought to you by Anadel for the Ankle. Don't live with foot pain. Let Anadel for the Ankle make your feet happy again. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. That's AnadelCenter.com for details, y'all. Like I stated, y'all get ready for that A4 Capital Consulting podcast. It's coming. It's going to be fire. It's going to be informative. It's going to take you to the next level because it's all about helping small businesses and just individuals take their business level. You know, I'm an artist, but what I do as an artist is put me in different platforms. Clothing, footwear, accessories, animation, of course, you already know about that. A drawing game, you know what I'm saying? Look at this right here. The new baseball cap. Yeah, I didn't even look at that. Showcase that joker right there. This is what we're doing over here, man. Custom baseball cap. This cap is sick, man. I know y'all was like, oh, that's a nice cap he's wearing. You know what I mean? And look, bucket hats. I showed y'all this before, but I'm going to show y'all again. bucket hats, man, and it's reversible. You know what I mean? This is what we're doing here at Sanusi Vision. Always making cool stuff. Look at that right there, y'all. Yeah, that's how we do it right there. You know what I mean? So, Sanusi Vision, man. So, that's what we're doing, man. And that's what A4 Capital Consulting is going to help your business do. Go to the next level. So, y'all, that's our show for today. I want to thank y'all for listening. This Sanusi Vision podcast is brought to you by. This Sanusi Vision podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Agboke Jr., which is me. You know what I'm saying? I love being my own be my own producer, man. I get to write, I get to direct, I get to decide what I'm going to do. So I love being the dude that's running the show. It's good for me. It lets me be able to, same way I do my art is the same way I do this podcast. I know what I want to do. I know I want to do it. See what I mean? So I am the be it all. I'm a one-man wrecking crew. So, you know what I'm saying? And please, thank you for listening. So please check out our website at sanusivision.com for all the cool stuff I'm talking about. Baseball cap, phone cases, you know what I'm saying? Phone cases. Phone flip cases, you know what I mean? 2 different types of phone cases, you know what I mean? And then we got them for iPhones and Samsung Galaxies and Google Pixel. So we got 3 different types of phone systems that we got phone cases for, you know what I mean? And please subscribe to our podcast. As I stated before, I moved it to YouTube strictly, but we also have it streaming on our Facebook pages, which is kicking butt. I didn't know that many people love seeing podcasts on Facebook. I'm like, okay, you know, people. One thing I realized was when I moved it completely away from Apple and Stitcher and all that stuff. People love seeing and hearing you at the same time. Why should I just want to hear you when I could just listen to you? Like, you know, one of the favorite guys I love listening to is Stephen A. Smith. Even Stephen A. Smith got his podcast on YouTube now. You know what I'm saying? Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, another podcast I love listening to. He got his podcast on YouTube now. Bomani Jones, with the right time with Bomani Jones, they got their podcast on YouTube now. You know what I mean? Everybody, if you ain't on YouTube, you slipping, man. So, you know, that's where the future is at. As I move myself, and I'm glad I did, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, give us a rating, subscribe to us. That way you can get notifications when new episodes come up, man. So, Sanusi Vision on the YouTube channel, Sanusi Vision, man. And please, check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at Sanusi Vision. I'm going to stress it again. If you ain't got a YouTube channel, you slipping, man. YouTube is where it's at. You got to do the YouTube thing. You got to do the social media thing. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, figure out which one is for you. I know for me, I love YouTube, I love Facebook, and I use TikTok occasionally. You know what I mean? But YouTube and Facebook is where it's at for me, man. They pop me because I feel like over there, subscribers or followers, whatever you want to come, are very loyal. Once they follow you, they follow you. Whereas the other ones, I feel like it's more of a popularity contest, and I don't really give a damn about that. I don't do this for popularity, man. I do it because it's of substance, and I find it to be actually helpful to a lot of people and to myself as well. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at, man. And please, don't forget to review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. And as always, y'all, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.